You didn't choose the trauma. You didn't choose the parents. You didn't choose the pain. But if you stay there, that's on you. We all start somewhere, and some of us start deep in the mud. Maybe you were raised by people who never healed themselves. Maybe you were told to stay small, stay quiet, stay grateful, even when you were hurting. Maybe you weren't given tools or support or space to breathe. And that's real. That's not weakness. That's not an excuse. That's just truth. And for a while, that truth is enough. It explains the anger, the fear, the self-sabotage. It explains why you keep ending up back at square one, why you push people away, why you can't seem to finish anything you start. Your pain has a past, and it deserves to be understood. But here's the line people don't want to cross. Understanding isn't the same as ownership. You can unpack your pain all day long, but if you don't own your healing, you stay there. You relive it. You repeat it. You bleed it into people who didn't cause it, including yourself. Because at some point, your story stops being what happened to you and starts becoming who you've decided to be. And I get it. Responsibility feels unfair. Why should you have to fix what someone else broke? Why should you have to carry the weight of pain you didn't ask for? Because if you don't, no one else will. That's the truth. No one is coming. Not in the way you want. Not with the apology that fixes it, or the love that rewrites it. If you're waiting on closure, on validation, on rescue, you're just standing still with your hand out, watching time pass. And here's the scariest part. If you stay stuck in blame, you miss who you could become. You miss the version of you that rises anyway. The version that builds new habits, new patterns, new standards. You miss the life that happens when you finally stop living in reaction to pain and start moving from power. The kind of power that only comes from saying, "This wasn't my fault, but I'm done using it as a reason to stay small." The world doesn't reward victims. It rewards warriors, quiet ones who stop explaining and start building, the ones who show up scarred, not because they've healed fully, but because they refuse to let their wounds run the show anymore. This isn't about pretending your past didn't happen. It's about refusing to let it own your future. You've been given the truth, and the truth is this: nobody's coming to save you. But that doesn't mean you're alone. It means you're in control now. The moment everything changes is quiet. It's not when the world claps for you. It's not when your bank account finally hits a number you like. It's not even when the pain stops hurting. The shift happens when you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What now?" That's the moment when blame dies and responsibility is born. You stop looking at your story like a scar and start seeing it like a starting line. You stop replaying what they did and start rewriting what you'll do. Because yes, maybe it wasn't your fault, but now, this moment, this decision, it's yours, and it's sacred. It's yours to take or waste. This is the shift that separates people who talk about change from the ones who actually build it. Not because it gets easier, but because they get tired of their own patterns. Tired of waiting for the pain to pass. Tired of watching other people live free while they stay stuck in cycles they didn't choose, but still continue. See, responsibility isn't a punishment. It's power. The kind most people never touch because it requires looking yourself in the mirror and saying, "This life? This outcome? This mindset? I built this, even if someone else gave me the blueprint." And once you take ownership, no one can take that power away from you. Not failure, not loss, not even pain. But here's the catch. You can't keep both. You can't hold your excuses in one hand and your future in the other. You've got to let go of something. You've got to kill the version of yourself that flinches every time things get hard. The version that hides behind childhood pain as a forever excuse. The version that waits for someone to drag them into discipline. Because that version, it's not broken. It's just comfortable. And comfortable people don't grow. They cope. They numb. They survive. But you weren't built to survive. You were built to lead yourself out. That doesn't mean the trauma wasn't real. It means your response now matters more than what caused it. And if you want to change your life, truly change it. It won't come from wishing, scrolling, or venting. It'll come from daily action. Quiet, relentless, unsexy action. Waking up early, doing the work, saying no when you usually say yes, being alone when it gets lonely, forgiving people who never apologized, and still moving forward like your life depends on it, because it does. This is the shift, from wounded to willing, from victim to builder, from pain-driven to purpose-built. And when you feel that shift inside you, when you stop looking backward for answers and start building forward without needing one, you'll know the old you didn't die in vain. They handed the torch to someone stronger. Now that you've stopped waiting to be saved, now that the blame is gone and the torch is in your hands, the question is simple. What will you build with it? This is where the work begins. And no, it's not glamorous. No one's handing you a trophy for showing up. No one's clapping when you keep a promise to yourself. That's the part people don't tell you. The rebuild is quiet. It's boring. It's lonely. And it's slow. But it's real. And that's what makes it powerful. Because when you rebuild from responsibility, the changes don't just look good, they last. You're not posting about how focused you are. You're too focused to post. You're not talking about healing. You're just healing. And day by day, the person you used to be starts to disappear. You stop needing validation from the people who never understood you. You stop explaining your journey to those who never walked a step with you. You stop shrinking yourself to fit rooms you've outgrown. Instead, you build, brick by brick, in the dark, a new routine, a new mindset, a new standard. You start holding yourself to a higher level, not because anyone's watching, but because you are. You stop calling discipline a punishment and start calling it freedom. You stop chasing hype and start chasing clarity. You realize that success isn't a peak you reach. It's a path you walk every single day without applause. And the beauty of it all? You become someone who trusts themselves again, because nothing is heavier than self-betrayal. And nothing feels better than knowing that when you say you'll do something, you will, no matter how you feel. No matter what the world's doing, you move, you show up, you lead. Not perfectly, not without failure, but with full ownership. And that's the foundation of everything. Because once you've rebuilt yourself from the ground up, no one can take that from you. Not a loss, not a breakup, not a job, not a number in your bank account. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. That's what this whole journey is about. It's not about forgetting what happened. It's not about pretending you were never hurt. It's about rising from it. Fully, freely, without bitterness, without excuses. You're not defined by what broke you. You're defined by what you built after. And now, you're not waiting. You're not wishing. You're not wounded. You're working. You're building. You're finally free.